Any rock is a wall when you're small, any scratch is a hole. Free fall, life is like pinball. I love you when you call me a genius. I wanna change your DNA with my penis. You ain't nothing but a fake dog. I'm a true dog, fucking, not making love, yo. It's all about the lies you can see from the outer space, my dick size with your own eyes, but you can't see me smoking weed on my roof all night. I'm sick of low life, sick of my future. Why? This is not a confession. My real intention is to keep you on high pressure. I'm a good man with bad intentions, detaining so many curses in the slang of my native language. No offense, I'm losing the common sense when I feel the hip-hop classic BPM. My message is not violent, but in a violent way. I make myself heard in the violent environment today. You got a low IQ and you're happy. You and me is like me and the monkey. It's curious, scandalous, don't be so curious. Life is a bad joke, don't take it serious. When I feel myself double cross, no loss, nothing can make me swallow my words. It's curious, scandalous, don't be so curious. Life is a bad joke, don't take it serious. When I feel myself double cross, no loss, nothing can make me swallow my words.
I'll give you some more. I'll give you some more. I'll give you some more. I'll give you some more.
Cred că ți-a vorbit măta despre mine. Am să-i slobozesc în gât încă un copil ca tine, da. Rimă după rimă, beat de rap îmi fac de cap. Nu hip-hop, stau și zac cu 40 alcool în cap. Nu accept influențe, tu ai atâtea fețe. Viața-i curvă ca și tine, deci trăiesc cu două zdrențe. Nu vreau să mă culc cu tine, vreau doar să te fut. Când fut, nu dorm, atunci de ce să mă culc când fut? Eu spupă n-am schimb, tu însuși purai crunt. De ce nu mi-i pula în gură când te doresc atât de mult? Spui, banii vorbesc, le sparg eu gura în față. Ce-ți dorești de la viață, într-o viață, e încă o viață. Te văd disperată, incredibil. Mai nou, mutul nu mai fute pământul, fute pământa, e vizibil. Mai multe nu știi, copiii nu te înghit pe tine, dar tu înghiți copii. Am prea puține zile ca să vreau să le împart cu tine, indiscutabil. Îmi calculez cu seringă, drog injectabil, valabil. Sunt terminat ca bateria și zbor. Privesc viața printr-un geam de Mercedes din exterior.
It's curious, scandalous, don't be so curious. Life is a bad joke, don't take it serious. When I feel myself double cross, no loss, nothing can make me swallow my words. It's curious, scandalous, don't be so curious. Life is a bad joke, don't take it serious. When I feel myself double cross, no loss, nothing can make me swallow my words.
Hello guys, how are you? Please let me know if my sound is good. Let me see who's here. I have Sistru. How are you, Sistru? Happy to have you here. Peggy, oh, Peggy, my good co-host. Peggy, when are we gonna do the next rabbit hole, Peggy? Let me know. Peggy's in the house. This is cool. We have a mod from Nick Starrow. How are you? Happy to have you here. Let me scroll down a little bit. Skin Row. How are you, Skin Row? Nice to have you here. V is Veronica. These handles are killing me, for real. I don't recognize anyone anymore. So yeah, Mr. Jungle is here in the house. That's cool. Iwata. Hi, Wata. How are you, Iwata? Iwata. It's just great. Just great. So Iwata is telling me that the sound is good. Thank you for that, Iwata. Now I feel more confident and comfortable. Heavy, aka Heather Brown. Heather Brown is in the house. How are you? Post-punk mama. How are you guys? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you showed up tonight. So I'm gonna start with this. Let me just organize my screen here. So maybe this is nothing new for you guys, but for me it was kind of new. I found this. Actually, this is a video of 30 seconds I made from a post that All Eyes on Delphi she put on she posted on X, and I found it really interesting. Is about letter that Richard Allen wrote, where we can see one of his confessions. I remember the letter very well, but I didn't analyze the letter properly. Let's say I didn't pay too much attention. Let's say, and when she posted that in X, I was like, oh shit, this is interesting. So what we are gonna see here is it's like an indication that one of the letters that was written by Richard Allen, it seems to be like forced to be written. It's not the way the letter was written is like if Richard Allen he wrote something first and then he was forced to write additional paragraphs in that letter with more details. That was a great catch from All Eyes. I don't know if she was the one who who made that catch or he was just distributing the idea, let's say. But anyways, she's great. I always give credit to her job because she's awesome in my opinion. Even if we disagree in a lot of points here in this case, but I respect her and she's very smart. So let's see what is this about. Sorry, I have like a rum, agripa en español, una gripa muy fuerte, a very strong rum. It's cold, let's say, it's coming. So sorry if I'm sounding worse than usual. So this is a letter that was written by Richard Allen in some type of formulary, some type of form, which is a request for interview. This is from the Indiana Department of Correction. So the letter is written to warden. Office is empty. The date field is empty here, which is weird. Name Richard Allen. There's some type of DOC. What is DOC? Department. Sorry, it's killing me. This Department of Correction. There's like a sequence number here, something like that. Assignment. Anyways, in this type of form, he wrote that confession. So we can see clearly that, and she made that type of highlight here. The first thing that is really clear in that letter that he wrote first is this: to confess. And I think this is his signature, right? Richard Allen or Ricky, I don't know what is this, but for sure is his signature. So this was the first attempt. So I am ready to confess. So it's a very general statement. It's a very general sentence. It's a very general sentence, let's say. And who knows why he wrote that first attempt, let's say, to confess. We know, and at least in my opinion, they put Richard Allen in the Westville Correctional Facility to break him, to obtain the confessions they needed to convict him. And we have multiple elements indicating that those confessions are just not normal. And this is one of them. So again, this is the first attempt for, it's very clear, great catch from All Eyes of Delphi, that initially this is what he wrote. The type, the writing, the style of writing is a single, is a very clear, a very singular and specific way to write this sentence. I am ready to confess. So then we can see that there are other parts that were added to that confession, to that written confession, that looks that they were added after, and you can see that the writing is different. The way he wrote the rest of the sentences is not the same. I don't know if that was made at the same moment he did the initial writing, let's say, or he wrote the initial sentence. But anyways, we're gonna see that it becomes weird. This letter, it's really, really weird. So again, let's move. This was the first attempt. I am ready to confess, Richard Allen. So, now, it looks that for some reason he added here officially, and you can see that like the space, the spacement, let's say, between the words, or not the words, the letters, is like bigger. You know, it's not the same, in my opinion. It's not the same way he wrote here. It's not the same style of writing. It looks like he wrote officially after writing I am ready to confess. So let's say this is the second attempt in this confession. So now the sentence became I am ready to officially confess, Richard Allen. So now, and you are the English speakers, guys. You're going to correct me, but the next part of the letter is really weird, the way it was written, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's something normal in English, but I don't see this type of combination of words often. So you're gonna tell me if I'm wrong. So I don't think this is normal. So I am ready to officially confess. This is a mistake, right, guys? I'm gonna come back to the chat in a couple of minutes, but in my opinion, it would be the correct way to write this is I am ready to officially to confess. But who writes I am ready to officially confess? Maybe I am ready to officially for a confession. It doesn't work, or it's my bad English here, guys, but it's like, to me the grammar is not normal. I am ready to officially confess killing Abby and Libby. It's normal that? And again, it looks like it was added after. So we pass from I am ready to confess to I am ready to officially confess to I am ready to officially confess killing Abby and Libby. It's really weird. I don't know, but it's really weird. Now look at the way he writes killing Abby and Libby. It's not the same way he wrote here I am ready to confess. It's like the space between the letters are more compressed, in my opinion. So I don't know, it's, in my opinion, it's weird. I don't think Ola is being uh, like trying to sell a conspiracy stuff here. I think it looks clearly like he was somehow forced to add information in this confession letter by someone. That's how I see it. Let's continue. So now, this is the last attempt, let's say. This is how the letter is finally written. I am ready to officially for confess killing Abby and Libby. I hope I get the opportunity to tell the families I'm sorry. Sorry, guys, this is killing me here. Don't feel well at all. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? To me, it's like a sequence of attempts, and looks like forced, in my opinion. And I don't think he was forcing himself to add additional information to this letter. You tell me in the chat, what do you think? I'm gonna come back to that one. So I finished my video giving the full credit to All Eyes. This is not cryptics catching something. It's really All Eyes who did the catch here. So I'm going to the chat to see if there are some comments about this. What do you think? Okay, V. So you are just V, not Veronica. Okay, sorry for that. But V is for Veronica as well. Anyways, let me know. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. So you're saying hello one to each other, which is great. Oh man. Hi, Wata. That was a great catch by All Eyes. I agree. So at least this is the first comment which is in agreement with my opinion. Skin Row. He clearly signed it before writing it. That's the words travel around his signature. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. The state should be embarrassed to submit it. I agree, 100%. Peggy, the state has no shame. But actually, shame on me. It's the first time I see this. Come on, and I remember reading this letter, and I didn't realize that at all. I didn't. When I was reading the post of All Eyes, I was, what? How did I miss this? Holy shit. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Peggy. The state has no shame. Well, we already know that they have no shame at all. And this is another additional element. Sorry, guys, I'm not feeling well at all. Michelle, I have wondered if he was forced or coerced to call his wife to confess. Someone else went and got a phone and dialed the number for him. The whole situation with the confessions is really weird. Why do you confess after being in prison? You know, and without being offered like a deal, without throwing other people under the bus. In my opinion, if he wanted to confess, he would do it like very soon in after his arrest. Not, it's clear to me that they broke him there to obtain those confessions. That was, of course, the strategy of the state to obtain those confessions. which most of them are just they don't make sense, and the one that makes sense is really fishy. We know the whole story surrounding Monica Wallace. So yeah, first best. I knew they were evil in their treatment of Richard Allen. This is just more proof. Yeah, I agree. This is more proof. Sincerely, it's just shame on the state for sure. Nursing the truth. Just joining. Cool, cool. You are joining the chat. Happy to have you here. Hi, Wata. Probably no date because he was so medicated he didn't know what day it was. Hey, that's not insane. That's not an insane comment from Hiawatha. I agree with you. Good point. Or maybe they didn't even care, or they were waiting to put the date they wanted or they needed to have after. I don't know. They are so sloppy, so stupid, so embarrassing. It's an embarrassment for real. It's just bad. It's just bad. Department of Corrections ID. I was a prison guard in Texas for 4 years. Okay. Interesting. Thank you. That's not a confession. Hey, what? He says in that phone call, there's somebody right here with me. Yeah, I remember that. It's true. If he was forced to write it, you would think they would make him date it. I don't know. I don't know who should be in charge of writing the date. I don't know. Hiawatha. This doesn't look like an adult writing. I think it looks like an adult who is being medicated, who is under the effects of medication. But what is weird is the difference between the different segments of that letter. So the way he writes here is not the same way he writes here, and it's not the same way he writes here. And just the whole meaning of the sentence to me is weird. I am ready to officially for confess. Does it make sense? I am ready to officially for confess. For a confession, maybe, but it's just, I don't know. Sorry, guys. It's true, because he was calling from Wallace's office and he had asked her to stay. How do we know that? And that information comes from Walla herself? I don't know. Criminal Network. Good to see you. Been looking for you. Yeah, Criminal Network and myself, we have a total different hypothesis about what happened in this case, but that is fine. Simbad Sailor, how are you, Simbad? Thank you for the support, by the way. I appreciate it. Let's continue here. Yeah, no date. That's weird. Yeah, what the fuck? That's what I wanted to listen from you guys. Officially for confess. What's that? It's not officially for confess, but I am ready to officially for confess. I don't know. Doesn't make sense, huh? Or what? That's the date. Okay. Just give me 1 second here. So I believe it is in a Wallace Court transcript. Okay, so he's the one giving that information. I don't know. First best. You are right, Cryptex. That's a very bad sentence structure. Okay, thank you. So I'm not that bad in English. Thank you guys for confirming that. Yeah, you are correct. Thank you, Hiwata. Yeah, it's just weird. It's a weird structure. None of this is any other. None of this in any other court would be counted. I'm not sure. I think that the system is so rotten, so bad, that maybe it would be counted. I'm not sure. Um, he's the poster child for false confessions. Yeah, I agree. Exactly. The grammar is odd. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It doesn't make sense, cryptex, because no one talks that way and it's simply nonsense. Exactly. Thank you, guys. I feel good. I'm gonna sleep better tonight because that didn't really made any sense to me. Peggy, I am ready to officially confess for exactly. That makes sense. That makes sense. But it's not the way he wrote. So, yep. I was thinking the same thing. This must been during his psychosis. Fishy, super fishy. How are you, fishy? Happy to have you here always. I'm so glad you're here. Just love fishy. I told her the other time when we were streaming in her channel that to me, she is my soul sister in terms of the YouTube channel community, let's say. I don't know. Was like the mirror of my channel. She's better, of course, but just I just love her, and I wanted to say that again here. Uh, just wrote confess on a lower line, in my opinion. Yeah, I would chime in, but took sleeping pill better not. Oh my god, I feel bad. Okay, first best. The wording, the spacing, the additions all over the place. Something is very wrong here. Forced and not in his right mind. Yeah, I think we are in the same line, most of us guys here. So yeah, it looks exactly that way for sure. Okay, just scrolling down here, guys. Hope you feel better, me either. Thank you. V. Sometimes people call Veronica by V. It can be confusing. Her account says Veronica. Nursing. I confessed to things I never did when I was in a marriage with a narcissist. Crazy how people can make you do things you wouldn't normally do. Act. Yeah, I agree with you. People with power, narcissists, manipulators. Yeah, people blackmailing you, people with more physical strength than you. Yeah, this world is full of crappy persons. Skin Row, bottom line, if these were real confessions, law enforcement would guarantee a detailed, documented confession. Exactly. Great point. I agree with you. That letter was just super general, but other than that, it's just weird. Why they wanted him to add some additional information? Yeah, of course, they wanted it. Law enforcement wanted to have the part of killing Abby and Libby here. Of course, that's clear. A part that was not initially written in the letter, and some type of remorse segment was added to the letter. I hope I get the opportunity to tell the families I'm sorry. So, anyways, a thing that I find interesting too is not in the sense of the topic we are talking about, but just because I'm reading here, killing Abby and Libby. Every time Richard Allen refers to Abby and Libby when he's talking or when he's writing. He puts Abby first. I just find that this is interesting. I don't know, but I think most of us we say like that. Abby and Libby. We don't say Libby and Abby, right? We say Abby and Libby. Abby and Libby. So, no, sorry, I didn't say anything. I think that's the way. For some reason, we name the girls Abby and Libby. Abby and Libby, not Libby and Abby. Maybe nothing important, but it just came to my mind that Sinbad Sailor. You confess when you are an empathetic human who has a guilty conscience and remorse for your crimes. Or when you are scared. It's not only when you have conscience or when you present remorse. There are other motives to confess. You are scared. You are forced to confess. You you want money. I don't know. It's not only for remorse. You want popularity. So I think there are a lot of motives to confess, not only remorse, in my opinion. Digital. You confess when someone says they will have your family harm. Exactly. Well, that's what I was saying. If you're scared, for example, that was one of my points. Skin to Warden. Yeah, at least to Mr. Warden. Yeah, no, I agree. To Warden. Anyways, but that's not the weirdest thing of the letter. I would accept that to Warden, whatever, but it's the structure of the text what bothers me the most. I fully believe that most real confessions are about the defendant doing damage control, not because they feel any remorse for what they did. Yeah, great point. I agree. I was not in the same line of Sinbad Sailor. Yeah, of course, remorse is one of the motives, but not the only one or the main one, in my opinion. Okay, thank you for being here, nursing. You can finish on replay, and thank you guys, the guys who are watching the replay later. Thank you also for showing up. Skin Row, if he was really guilty and really wanted to apologize, I think he would have done just that. Yeah, agree. 100%. Who would even have to think about it? It would be no. Nature. Yeah, Cryptex. I believe they made him write it. And Walk was talking to Jerry Holman the whole time Rick was in there. And I believe she was paid. Walla or Walla? Walla? And Walla was talking to Jerry Holman the whole time Rick was there. And I believe she was paid to say Ricky told her things because she didn't take notes. I don't know, but she doesn't look very professional, and the whole situation surrounding Walla is really weird. It's fishy. It's strange. I agree with you. No notes, no video material, no audio material. Someone really close to law enforcement, and that was the only confession that made sense coming from her, and we just have to buy the story she sold us. Sorry again, guys. It's bad. Fishy. It can be that, but it can be also many other things. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Was not this letter to Warden before he was given any meds? Nursing. Not even a question. I kept thinking I was mishearing things wrong during trial. There's no way. It's absolutely ridiculous. Network. One question, Cryptex. Do you feel there was nothing about Odinism or Asatru involved in the murders? No, I don't think so. I think that the Odinism theory is the uh, more, how can I say that without harming your feelings? Uh, Trying to use the good words here. I'm just gonna say that it was a failed strategy, a wrong strategy, a strategy designed to fail by default. Is the theory, thesis, hypothesis, uh, dogma, whatever, that no one is gonna buy. No one is gonna buy that. And if you are trying to help Richard Allen because you think he's innocent, or because you think that this whole case is weird and nothing makes sense, is the worst way to try to help him. Because in the unlikely case that the Odinism stuff is actually one of the elements of this crime, no one is gonna buy that. No juror is gonna buy that. No one. It's just insane. You're gonna use the most logical explanation to defend your client. You're gonna go to a process using the Keegan-Klein's angle. You're gonna go to defend your client using the Ron Logan's angle. You're not gonna go with the far-fetched Odinism theory, because that's what happened. Your client is gonna be convicted because you were losing your time, the precious time that you had to try to find the right strategy here, working on that crazy hypothesis. So if he's behind bars today and he's actually innocent, let's say, if that's the case, you should blame the defense attorneys to go with that theory, to lose time, to not to look harder into the client's angle, to not to look harder into the Logan's angle. Because if they would be more focused, working on that logical hypothesis, maybe they would have the chance to introduce Logan and Klein into the process as a third party suspects. But of course, they decided to write a Bible, 3,000 pages about Odinism, the whole Frank memorandum. They lost their time. They lost the time of their clients, their client. They killed the hopes of Richard Allen to have a better representation. So I hope that answered to your question, Criminal Network. Thank you, Fishy, for the emoji. Skin, those dipshits could gotten away with this part if they would just made him start over from scratch each time on a new document. I guess they are even dumber than I than I thought. That's saying something. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to stay here, guys. I'm not feeling good at all. Criminal Network. If only God can judge me, why I gotta be in court on Monday at 8 a.m.? Do we have a video of him writing that? I don't know. Good question. I don't know if there's a video. He was supposed to be monitored full time, no? So I would expect some type of video material to corroborate if someone was forcing him to write that letter. That's a great point, Fishy. That's a great point. I would love to watch the material that we don't know yet. Richard Allen hitting a wall. How was that situation actually? Richard Allen confessing to Monica Walla. No video, no material. Uh, yeah, yeah. And even when we have some video material here, some important parts, in my opinion, are missing. Even during the interview of Richard Allen or the interrogation with Jerry Holman, we don't have the full video material there. You can see clearly that there are a lot of cuts in that interview, black cuts, cuts that when you watch the interview, you think that there is just 1 second missing or something like that because you just see a black cut there in the video. But when you see the timing, that black cut, that is even I remember I calculated that, but it's a lot of seconds, maybe minutes. So we were missing a lot of information. Even when we think, we have the interview, we have the video material. No, we don't have the full material there. Okay. Yeah, Walla is behind that. She's a puppet. Of course, she's a puppet. She's a puppet of McClelland and the judge and God. Clearly, it's alphabetical order to say Abby and Libby. Yeah, but it's always like that. Like Batman and Robin. Yeah, Batman and Robin is Batman first. What other famous couple? Okay, let's say alphabetical is the logical way to go with naming the girls. Peggy, it sounds like a therapeutic apology. Yeah. Not seeing the truth. There's so much research and stuff out there on false confessions. It's absolutely more common that people realize, yeah, of course. You want to get out of solitary confinement. People also confess to things they didn't do when they are giving up, of course. Or if you are not in the right state of mind, you maybe believe that you did something you didn't. It happens. You are 24 hours, 7 days with the lights on. You cannot sleep. You become crazy. One time I had COVID. That was the worst experience of my life for real. And it's crazy because you think that everything is for granted here. And this is crazy, guys. I don't know if you realize that you salivate every single, I don't know, maybe every minute. You put saliva inside of your organism. You are salivating constantly, and you don't realize that it's a mechanical process. Let's say you don't think about that. It's like when you are breathing, you are not consciously. You don't think you are breathing. It's the same with the saliva. And for some reason, when I had COVID, I couldn't produce saliva, so I was not able to introduce my own saliva inside myself. And because of that, I was becoming crazy. I was 7 days, zero sleep. I couldn't sleep. It was horrible. It was hard to breathe. Anyways, just to say that, sorry again, when you are not sleeping, and no, that was my point. Seriously, I was having hallucinations. It was the worst experience of my life. So If you don't sleep, you hallucinate. If there are people around you telling you crazy stuff, you did it. You're not sleeping. You're taking medication. You're being harassed. People are threatening your family. Yeah, those you can't believe that you actually committed something. So I don't give any credibility to the confessions Richard Allen made. Rick never denied confessing to Walla. Uh, he never denied confessing to Walla. How do you know? How do you know that? I don't remember having any statement from Richard Allen officially when he was in Westville. No, I highly doubt that Rick has much memory from the point of his arrest onward. Yeah, Freak Ricky Bay. Walla also showed her character when she got busted using the computer in prison control room to look up info on Keegan Klein. An ethical pick me. Yeah, ethics were not there. Ethics are not there when we talk about. Oh my God, criminality. Teresa is here. Holy shit. Hello, Teresa. I love, I love Teresa. I'm so happy you're here. V. I believe Baldwin said as much in an interview that they asked him about specific on things and he had no recollection of huge periods of time altogether. Yeah, just someone who's not sleeping. Yeah, that's enough for me. Forget about the medication. Forget about the uh, physical harassment. Just know if you don't sleep, you are fucked. Your mind is fucked. That's enough. That's all you need to become crazy. Sinbad. Walla took notes. She entered them into the database word for word after her sessions. How do you know that? Because she told you that? How do you know that, Sinbad? It's like, okay, we have to take everything she says for granted. That's the way all mental health notes are handled in the prison system. Well, it's a bad way to handle that. And you are there are three phases there. So the guy is talking to you and you're taking notes. How do you know that the notes you're taking are exactly the same things he's telling you? Then you transcript, you enter your notes in a database. So there's like a chain of potential possibility of mistakes here. When you, I don't know if you know that game when someone tells you something in the ear and you do the same to the other one and you say the same to the other one and at the end the whole story is totally different. You know that game? It's a bad way to document stuff, in my opinion. Oh my God, we have Matt Sullivan, we have Teresa. What? This is great night tonight, guys. Skin roll. I don't think it's Odinism motivated, but I think it was done by someone that wants to impress a certain Odinist, a wannabe of some sort. Sullivan, yeah, nice to see you, man. What about you? How are you doing? Cool to have you here, man. So, Matt Sullivan, this is the skinny. This is. Oh, guys, I'm super. Give me 1 second again because sorry for this, but oh, the state tricked the defense into filling a Frank's memo so that they could acquire the whole strategy and prevent them from any third-party suspects or other exonerating evidence. Who gave him a pen if he was on suicide watch? would be my question. My question is if he was on suicide watch, how is it possible that we have a picture of Richard Allen with his eyes all black? How is it possible? The story they sold us is that he was hitting his head against the wall, and that because of that his eyes became black. If he is in a suicide watch, how do you allow a prisoner to harm himself like that? So it's not weird, fishy, strange, crazy. Anyway, Matt, the Franks came out months before the state should have known the strategy. This is precisely why the defense leaked it, much to the chagrin of the bumbling state. Is Matt Hoffman legit? According to Matt, yes, it is. Sinbad, exactly. There is no place to store the written notes. The hard copies are destroyed after the data entry to protect patient confidentiality. I don't get it. You are entering the same information into a database, but you destroy the notes to protect his confidentiality. Anyways, maybe it is the standard practice, but in this case where everything is weird, to me, we have to buy the word of Monica Walla. So, anyways, I don't think she's credible at all. If Walla was credible, she'd still have her job. Agree. Good point. Digital is asking Matt, did he work for Carter in his campaign for sheriff years ago? Matt, imagine them torturing you for months, lights on 24/7, no sleep, beatings, abuse, harassment, shocks daily. Eventually, you'd say anything. This confession means nothing but a man being pushed. I agree. Totally agree with you, Matt. Rick's confessions lack the details of a false confession. Nothing there except the few points supplied by someone. Digital. Walla doesn't give a damn about protocol. Searching database for medical information. Please don't pretend she has ethics. Yeah. She's everything but an ethical person for sure. Walla still has her job. She works for the same company as a prison psychologist. She even received a plum assignment closer to her home. Is that true? I don't know. Matt Soliman. Rick said that he killed himself, his family, sad his daughter, 100 different things, all false. Yeah. Annali said, I got COVID in my mouth the first time. Ate foods cooked in a home where the family was sick. Candy, I would confess to protect my family if I thought it was the only way. Good point, of course. And he started World War III. Skin roll. She was restricted from Westville the day after her testimony. She may still work for Centrion, but she was barred from the facility for a reason. Matt, I'm not sure if Hoffman worked for Carter. It's a small community, so everyone is related and connected through someone. Yeah, I agree. It's a very small community. Yeah, he cheated on a cigarette. Annali said, Rick was depressed and felt hopeless. I can understand why he confessed. A long time ago, I have felt that hopeless, not over criminal issues. I'm okay now. Matt, thank you. Just suspicious to me. You had a lot of thing of this nailed years ago. Yeah, Matt Sullivan, we miss you, man. We miss you in this community. What's going on, man? You have to come back for real. We appreciate you a lot. You have a great mind. You are very charismatic. We miss you, man. At least me, I miss you a lot. And digital is right. You got a lot of stuff right years ago. So yeah, I hope you're back. Thank you, Teres. Okay, let's scroll down. He had a trial, so I doubt he said the confessions were true. It's true. I agree. She should never have been researching Keegan Klein. But if this was a cover up, how did we get to hear that she did that? Yeah, that information comes from where? It's a good question, sister. Good question. Matt, I really didn't have a lot right. What I didn't know was that the case was off and that those cops were a part of something criminal. They proved it at trial, implicated themselves and others. Yeah. And they committed perjury. There are people committing perjury there. Uh, I don't know if perjury is something that can be used for the appealing process because the most obvious example was Kathy Shang. Now that we have the lead sheet from Dan Doolin, we know that she actually was manipulating that lead sheet years after the years before the miraculous finding of that document. So I don't know, just thinking at the same time I'm talking. And I said, it said that it is said that driving while sleep deprived can be as bad as being impaired on substances. I would say it's worst. It's worst. You need to rest. Your brain needs to shut off. You need a shutdown every single day, a couple of hours at least. If you don't sleep, you become crazy. That's clear as crystal. Clear, yeah, playing telephone, exactly. That's what I want to say. Sinbad, Allen was being figurative when he said he killed his family. Yeah, of course. So convenient that now he's being figurative. So he was figurative when he said that he cheated on a cigarette. And he was figurative when he said that he started the World Three. So it was not figurative. Wallace shouldn't be allowed to ever talk to another human being. God only knows what dribbles out of her pie hole in private. Anna, that makes sense. Not an Odinist activity, but done by someone wanting to impress Odinist. I just don't buy the whole Odinist situation, but anyways. If it was figurative, it was a parable. It was fiction, fantasy, literally. How are you, Kelt? Happy to have you here. A fairly new channel, Daisy Asks, has had some interesting videos about the possible use, importance of the sticks at the crime scene. Yeah, Amy is so good. She's good. I like her a lot. Matt Sullivan, I really don't like the job that the defense did. It was the worst job ever. They sort of created a caricature of Allen. Exactly. There are many times that make no sense. Why didn't they do certain things they should have? Perfect comment, Matt. Perfect comment. the defense attorneys were not only incompetent, in my opinion, but also how can I say, suspicious. And in my opinion, there was a conflict of interest there. They didn't want to push the Keegan Klein's narrative, maybe because of the relationship between Brad Rossi and his associate, who was the defendant of Keegan Klein, and I think also the defendant of Ron Logan, someone in that firm where Brad Rossi worked. So, and now we know that Brad Rossi's brother, Josh, he was implicated in the disappearance of the Marathon gas station video, who should be the proof that Keegan Klein was there the day of the murders, or Tony Klein. And now it seems that the defense attorney, his brother, is actually the one who fucked with that situation. It's just weird. It's just weird. Come on. Come on. Smokey Robin. Dr. Wallace documentation is the issue. It's typical in the digital healthcare system. What is at question is the lack of recording. Her extracurricular interest in this case and discussing it online. Yeah, good point. Another perfect comment. The whole thing is fucked. 100%. Anna, some have said state-paid defense attorneys are underpaid and do the minimum. In my opinion, the defense counted on an easy win until the confessions happened. They could not overcome those. Yeah. Good, very good question, Annalisette. Why did defense stipulate that they wouldn't question any of the evidence? If there is another trial, does a new defense have to follow those stipulations? I don't know. Those legal elements are out of my scope. But it's a very good question, Digital, for sure. Even though we also know how unreliable they are as well. Scrolling down here, guys. Matt Sullivan. As the defense made several bad moves, I began to feel like it was apparent that the defense was using third parties to go through discovery and were not reading that thoroughly. They missed a lot. Yeah, I think so. I think they were focused on the wrong stuff. They should have paid more attention to the clients, more attention to Ron Logan, but they were losing time into the whole Odinism stuff. Skin. So they can question the chain of custody and sell data. Just scrolling down here, guys. Skin row. As far as I know, everything resets in a new trial. Really, I don't think so. I'm not sure. But witnesses are still bound to their original testimony because they were under oath. I don't think the whole thing resets. Is that the case? I don't know. I don't know. Sinbad Sailor. Indiana Corrections had no issues with the way Walla handled the Richard Allen. They had a problem with her unauthorized access to notes about Keegan Klein. She was curious about Keegan Klein. I am too. Yeah, but you are not the psychologist of Richard Allen. She was. I think ethics is something that is. Ethics is a very simple word to understand, especially if you are a professional in that type of process, but it's not a simple word to execute, especially in that case. Yes, seven escape. There is not a shadier place than central Indiana. Where I work, reports are run monitoring access. They know every eye and keystroke in medical records. Digital. What lawsuit did Baldwin file against McClelland? Will it result in Nick being put under oath? I would love to see that. Oh man, feeling bad. Sorry, guys, I'm just. The video makes me question everything. What video? The video of the girls, the 43 seconds video? Can you be a little more specific? God. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to continue for too long. It's true. I agree it was wrong of her. My question is why the state never covered it up for her if they had all this power? It's a good question. Maybe someone who disagreed with other colleagues, let's say, he knew some information about that and they couldn't cover it up. I don't know. Just thinking at the same time. Okay. It is funny how they claim it was not a ritual killing when it totally was. Even if Odinists didn't do it, it was still a ritual killing. It was a ritual for the killer. I agree with you. I don't think it was Odinism. To me, the sticks are signatures. So yeah, we can call it like a ritual for the killer, let's say. But they used the wrong wording, the defense. They were using sacrifice. They were using Odinism. Yeah, just it's the wrong strategy. Again, even in the unlikely case that Odinism was an element of this case, is a strategy designed to fail. If I'm the killer or if I'm the one being processed, in that case, I'm going to fire my attorneys if they are using that strategy to try to defend me. You know, you're fucking stupid. Bye bye. I need another attorney. Seriously, bring me someone who's gonna be able to talk about Keegan Klein, who's gonna be able of digging into the client's angle, an attorney who's gonna be pushing harder into the Ron Logan's angle. But anyways, it is what it is. Math. There were too many hands in the cookie jar with the defense. They should have never involved themselves with YouTubers. It destroyed their credibility. I agree, 100%. And yeah, but yeah, the state, they were smarter, let's say, because McClelland was working with YouTubers as well, but McClelland was not in the channel of fake results. They were working under the table, right? So they were smarter. The state was they were playing a good game, let's say, if we can call it like that. So yeah, I agree with you. They destroyed their credibility by doing that 100%. The angry Killjoy. Defense should have been focused on dismantling the case against Rick, not on. Oh my God. The defense tried to solve the case as opposed to defend the client even. I don't think they were trying to solve the case. They were trying to sell a crazy story. They were not trying to solve the case. And I understand that it's not their job to do that, but they were just selling a story that no one is gonna buy for fishy reasons behind that. Because they didn't want to use the client's angle. Why? Conflict of interest. It's bad. If you are in the pro Allen side, you have to question the shadows that are placed above the defense attorneys. Don't be blind about that. Don't be blind. It's not normal what they did. It's not normal. Math. YouTubers have a job to speculate and discuss the case in the way they do. We are all biased, 100%. We all have weight in the game for our own reasons. That said, the defense used us to spread propaganda. La propaganda. I love that word, propaganda. In Spanish, is propaganda. Is anyone here a Spanish speaker? Just curious. Or I am the only one? Or a French speaker? Lawyers don't email very well or email the wrong person. Math. The state then used YouTubers to spread their side. It got gross, exactly. Exactly. And let's call it by their names, fix solves. A disgrace. The defense didn't involve themselves with the YouTubers. They should have many no case better. Yeah. They involved themselves with the wrong YouTubers. They were a couple. All were leaking documents and spreading the various sites. A new trial will be atomic for the state. I don't think they will allow a second trial with everything we already know. Yeah. that is sad. Digital, I agree with you. I don't think it's gonna happen. And all the questions we have are gonna be buried, in my opinion, because even if we try to get those answers, it's gonna be hard to go to the bottom of this without a new trial. Some YouTubers are doing a good job interviewing interesting people, and I'm gonna stop there in that subject because something happened. Heavy, thank you so much for your generosity. Your kindness to everyone is a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much. Sometimes I'm not very kind, but I try to do my best. Analyzed. I suspect certain YouTubers of doing more than biased reporting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you talking about the video? So I'm so late in the chat. Sorry. Okay. I'm very late in the chat, guys. I'm gonna try to scroll down faster. This is killing me. Shit. You really think Odinists are going to do a ritual killing with a box cutter? Sistru has a very good point. I think that the crime scene is really chaotic. It's chaotic. And when you see sacrifices, the sacrifices are very clean. The crime scenes are they have a full control of their victims in a clean way. That's what I mean. This is a great comment, sister, because I had the same thinking. To me, the crime scene, the nature of the crime scene indicates everything but uh, uh, sacrifice or Odinism. It's a chaotic scene. It's very chaotic. I agree. And again, if the murder weapon was a box cutter, yeah, exactly. You don't expect to have Odinist using a box cutter to conduct or to perpetrate that crime. I agree with you. This is very weird. I agree with you, Matt. And that's why I don't understand people saying that the sticks were placed on the bodies to conceal the girls. The fact that they placed sticks on a pool of blood in a very specific pattern is just crazy. It meant something to the killer, as you say, 100%. It was far too intricate to be an attempt to trick police. Great comment, Matt. I'm with you in that comment, 100%. And it's just insane, huh? And some people really believe that the sticks were placed to conceal the bodies. So you conceal the bodies using three sticks in a geometric pattern above the bodies, above the girls, above a pool of blood. Come on, seriously. Exactly. That is something that someone is gonna buy. Gang symbols, for example. Great comment. Box knives probably ice more people a year than guns. See you, free Ricky Bay. See you later. Thank you for being here. Matt Sullivan. The focus on hiding the racial elements cuts a magnifying glass onto the racial aspects. I think it's consistent with a box cutter, and the problem for the state is that when they use the box cutter strategy, they didn't think about the confession of Ricci Davis in 2017 when he said that Ron Logan confessed to him of killing Abby and Libby using a box cutter. So I think a box cutter could be very well one of the weapons. Could be, yeah. And I said, have you seen Daisy Asks recent videos with her theory of the importance of the sticks at the crime scene? I didn't see the videos yet. I tried to watch the videos she makes. She's good and nice. I like her. Can you tell us something about that, Annalizet? The coroner said it was two separate blades. One serrated till Wallace's confession about the box knife. Yeah. How fishy was that? How fishy. But they forgot about the confession of Ricci Davis. They're so stupid. They're so incompetent. They're so embarrassing. Seriously. Oh my God. The coroner didn't think so until after Rick Allen's confessions. For all those years prior, he said two weapons, one serrated. Yep. I agree. I cannot wait until Andrew Baldwin drops a book, but I won't use him for lawyer. Anna, after this written confession, it is reported that there was a hearing with Rick present when he was asked if he wanted to confess. He said no. Yeah. Yeah. Scrolling down here, guys. Sorry for that. Matt, another perfect comment from Matt, as usual. How the hell can Klein, as Anthony Schultz, set up a meeting at the bridge that day and not be involved in some way? Exactly. Exactly. It's the Occam's razor. It's the most logical explanation, and I don't fucking understand why people are avoiding that subject. I don't get it. For real, it's just insane. It's insane. That's the beginning of a nexus, of course. In the same way Allen said of course. And you have the freaking video of the marathon gas station where Keegan Klein was supposed to be that day missing. That video is missing. So I really don't understand people, for real. And it's not because I disregard other opinions, of course not. But I just don't understand how people say or think or are just convinced that Keegan Klein is not part of this. I don't get it. Seriously, it's not understandable at all. It's like, come on. And the guy confessed. The guy confessed. Cult. Were the defense even allowed to use DNA and phone data? Was not that fought over? And all the DNA on the girls has not been tested. Matt. Without the bullet, they had no case or nexus against Allen either. Exactly. This is why they exaggerated it. Yeah, of course. There were two main forced elements in this case that are just so bad. They didn't have a solid case against Richard Allen at all. The case was not solid. So the way to convict Richard Allen, that was the first forced element here, was the bullet. And that comparison between an unspent round and a fired bullet is not, I don't think we can call it science. That type of comparison may be like a discipline or something like that, but I don't think it's something that is going to be reproductive. So the scientific method is not there. So they used something that for some reason was allowed to be part of the whole situation to convict Richard Allen the bullet. So first, bad stuff here. And then they had to put Richard Allen in Westville under those conditions, even if people say that those were not solitary confinement conditions. To me, those conditions were very close to a solitary confinement to obtain the confessions they needed. So the case was really weak. So they needed those two forced elements to convict Richard Allen. The first one, the bullet. The second one, the confessions. Without that, there's no case. And we know what happened here. So great point, Matt, as usual, again. But the coroner said, not the coroner, the coroner, Carl, he said that it was a box cutter, that he had an eureka moment when he was in his garage, I think. He was looking at some tools there, and he saw a box cutter. Oh, fuck. This is the murder weapon. That was his story. So why did he have the need to say that? I don't think it was a eureka moment. The problem was that he was telling first that the injuries were consistent with a serrated blade and a non-serrated blade. that's an indication of multiple perpetrators. So with that theory, this is not good, or this is not convenient for the state, because they are pushing the theory that Richard Allen committed this crime alone by himself. So they needed one single weapon that was able to apply those type of injuries, serrated and not serrated. So the perfect weapon is the box cutter. So that was the eureka moment of the coroner court. But again, coming back to my initial point, they forgot that Richie Davis was talking about a box cutter in 2017. Information that only the killer would know, that was supplied by Ron Logan. So Ron Logan had confidential information that only the killer would know in 2017, and he provided that information to Richie Davis, box cutter. So again, exactly. It was not March 2017, it was June 2017. That's what, but that's the date the letter was written. So maybe the confession was in March, but yeah, the letter was dated on June 2017. Does a photograph of the bullet in the ground with a crime scene marker exist? Good point. I don't know. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well at all. So I'm gonna stop here, and I really appreciate your comments, your company tonight. Stay in touch. Please hit the like, and maybe see you tomorrow. Maybe we can do like a continuation tomorrow if I feel better. I really cannot talk anymore. So hit the like, guys, before leaving. Thank you. I'm gonna say bye-bye to every one of you guys. Matt, it's a pleasure always to have you here. Peggy, for sure. And I can't. See you guys. Bye-bye, ciao.